What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH. This was a pretty good episode. I could totally understand where Mac is coming from, like about him being hesitant to find out if Cody is really his son and stuff like that. Because basically, it would be a huge change for their family. Like, if Cody does turn out to be his son, he would have to go through the process of trying to bond with him, get to know him. Like, he don't know if he would fit into the family or not. And he felt like their life just finally got back on track after the whole Peter situation. They're all finally in a decent place or good place, a happy place. And I love Felicia's whole response to the whole thing. She was like, listen, I'm good with it. If he does turn out to be your son, I will welcome him into the family the same way you took my daughters in as your own daughters. I would do the same for Cody, basically. If he was your son, it would be no different. I love that response from her. That's a real woman right there. That's why Felicia one of my boos. Because I love that. You know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't be upset. She wouldn't be angry. Like, why would she be? Maxie also felt like, this would be a chance for Mac to finally have a child that has his DNA. And I get where Maxie is coming from, but I don't think that's a major factor to Mac. Because I'm pretty sure in the back of his mind, he probably always wanted a biological child. But he does not regret for 1 minute raising Maxie and Georgie and even Robin. He don't regret any of that. You know what I mean? He took them girls in as his own. And they're still his own to this day. So he doesn't regret it. But he was just going over all this stuff, and I'm glad Felicia realized after Maxie left, she know her daughter, and she basically put it out there to Mac. She was like, listen, it's up to you on whether or not you want to find out if Cody is your son, but Maxie, she gonna meddle. She can't resist but to meddle. So she pretty much knew Maxie was gonna end up stealing DNA to find out. Because that's something Maxie would do. Maxie would definitely steal Mac's DNA and Cody's to find out if they're father and son or not. If Mac won't do it, she will. And we all know she will. We all know it. That's how it is. So anyway, moving on from that. I was so irritated that Britt even told Cody about Mac asking questions about him, because now he all paranoid, thinking that Mac is thinking that he's a killer or something, like he attacked Ava or something. And that's not even the case. I'm like, that's not the only reason he wants to talk to him. He's questioning everybody. And even when Maxie showed up, she told him that Mac is questioning everybody who was at the party that night, which he is. That's a part of the job. There was a lot of people at that party that night, so they have to get statements from everybody. They need to know where everybody was during that time. Did they see anything? It's just common to do that stuff. That's a thorough investigation. You have to. He's not accusing him of anything. You know what I mean? He's just asking questions. And of course, Cody wants to leave town or whatever. Talking about, I'm not going to stay in this town if I'm going to be accused of something. Sir, calm down. And Britt told him, like, you're running because what? You're hiding something? Like, what other reason for you to leave town? And my whole thing about Britt was, if the man wants to leave town, let him leave town. Like, why are you trying to persuade him to stay? Let his ass go. Because he was pissing me off, talking about, it sounds like Mac deserves to be punched in the face. Sir, don't get your ass beat. You is not going to sit here and threaten Mac. You ain't going to do nothing to him, so calm your little self down. See, that's why I really hope he is not Mac's child. I hope not. I hope to good God he is not. Mac deserves much better than Cody Bell. I'm just saying. He deserved better than that. If Cody want to go, let his ass go. At the end of the day, ain't nobody accusing you of doing nothing to Ava. He's asking typical questions. You were at the party that night. He has to question you. Duh. So he went into the hallway or whatever and started making his little phone call to somebody. And Maxie is finally starting to realize, like, okay, maybe she was wrong about Cody. I'm like, duh, Maxie, you're wrong about most of the men that you talk to or that you interact with that you think is so good. Because, Britt was baffled by it. She was like, just an hour ago, you like Cody. Now, all of a sudden, you are against him. She was like, no, she just feel like he hiding something. He up to something, because he is. I wouldn't be shocked. It wouldn't be a shock to my system if he wasn't up to something. Like, he got to be up to something. He seemed like a grifter. So anyway, moving on from that, So Nicholas tried to go to see Ava and whatnot, and Sonny's bodyguard Frank was at the door. I love that Frank was not about to let Nicholas in that room. He was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm sorry, but you're not on the list to go in there. Ava don't want to see you, so you're not coming in." And he tried to, relay a message through Trina to Ava or whatever. I am so glad Frank told him to go kick rocks. Like, sir, get the hell on somewhere. She don't want your raggedy ass in her room, so get on. So Ava and Trina started talking, and I am so glad Ava finally told Trina the truth that Spencer would not tell her, that Spencer has been on her side from day one, because she needs to know this. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no sense in keeping this a secret from her for... Oh, my God. What the hell is that? I hate when little gnats get in. That shit annoys me. So, yeah, this little gnat was, like, all up in my face. I'm like, where the hell is this gnat coming from? So, yeah. I'm glad that she told her, because Trina needs to know so that way she can make an informed decision about who she want to be with and stuff like that. Because Ava pretty much told her, listen, if you want to go down to the PCPD and see Spencer before he's hauled off to Pentonville, that's only you can decide that. Furthermore, she needs to be with somebody that's worthy of her and that has her best interest at heart. I totally agree with that. I think Ava was dropping some gems on her, letting her know, like, listen, get with somebody that's worthy of your time, and your presence. I definitely agree with that. Because at the end of the day, somebody gonna get hurt, either Rory or Spencer, but she needs to make an informed decision. She can only do that if she knows exactly how both of them feel about her. She knows how Rory feel about her. She doesn't fully understand how Spencer feels, like what's going through his mind. So I'm glad Ava kind of gave her some perspective on that, and she realized that was what was in his letter that he wrote to her. Because I feel like I've been feeling like she needed to hear all of this from Spencer himself, but he just felt like, no, I'm not going to tell her. I'm just going to leave it alone because she happy. No, tell her everything so that way she can figure it all out for herself, fool. You know what I mean? Like, I understand some people don't like rejection and whatnot, but it is what it is. I mean, the worst thing somebody can say to you is no, right? If she say no, she say no. But at least let that be her full decision. Don't take a decision away from somebody. So anyway, moving on from that, while Sam and Dante was at the penthouse and whatnot, Dante got a phone call from his old neighbor or whoever. They saw him moving and they want to make an offer on the house. That's insane. They want to buy him and Lulu's house. And I'm kind of confused on it because I'm like, we don't really know the terms of him and Lulu's divorce. Like, did she legally get the house fully, like 100% in her name when they divorced? Or does the house still have his name and her name on it? Like, does he have the legal authority to sell that house because they're divorced? So I would assume that Laura at this point would have power of attorney over Lulu and her estate, which includes the house. I'm not sure how that works. But, that's a huge decision. He felt like that's a decision that he has to make with Lulu, but obviously he can't. So my thing is the next best thing is either keep the home, rent it out, or talk to Rocco about it. Even though Rocco's a little young, but I'm like, he old enough to comprehend things, obviously. He's old enough to give his input and his opinion. So I would kind of get Rocco's opinion on it. See what he think, about selling the house or keeping it. I do know it can get expensive keeping a house that you're not living in. You know what I mean? But like I said, he can always rent it out and make some money off of it. I'm not sure if the house is paid off or not, but you would still have to pay, homeowner's insurance. You would still have to pay the property tax every year. But he should be able to financially maintain that. It's only once a year that you got to pay the property tax. So he should be able to keep that going. I don't know. That's such a huge decision to make, though. That's such a huge one, but he got to, weigh the pros and cons of it and get Rocco's input and make an informed decision. So him and Sam was wondering what Sonny was talking to Cody about and stuff like that. And I'm glad Dante realized that Cody is probably not on the full up and up, and that obviously it's not just him keeping an eye on Cody, it's Sonny too. I'm like, yeah, because Cody's one of them people that you got to keep an eye on. You can't just, turn a blind eye to him because he a little shifty. He's definitely shifty. So anyway, moving on from that. I love the scenes between Sonny and Victor. Those scenes are very good. It's like seeing two titans going at it. You know what I mean? And I love it. Sonny wanted to know, of course, what Victor was going to do for Spencer in order to protect him or help him out while he's in prison, since Spencer is protecting Sonny, not Sonny, Victor. Spencer is protecting Victor or whatever, and Victor talking about, oh, well, I can protect my family. But Sonny has guards or people on the inside looking after Spencer, though, because I remember Sonny said he made some calls and he going to have some people looking out for him. But I totally get where Sonny is coming from, though, because it is kind of messed up. Like, this kid could have got out of prison or got a very reduced sentence. All he had to do was snitch on Victor, little crazy ass, and he didn't. But my thing is, I don't feel bad for Spencer because it's like he's still only going to Pentonville for a couple of months. That's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, some people go to hard, big prisons like that for years. You know what I'm saying? And that's even harder. So he could suck it up and deal with it. So, of course, they get into it about Ava and stuff like that. And Sonny started asking Victor all types of questions about the stability of Ava and Nicholas's marriage, because he was confused. He was like, why is Ava staying at the Metro Court if Esme has vanished somewhere? If she's no longer in the equation, why is Ava still staying at the Metro Court then? So he pretty much put Victor on notice. He was like, listen, if I find out that you or Nicholas did something to hurt Ava, we gonna have a problem. Pretty much. And Victor gave him a warning. He was like, we don't have to be enemies. Like, we don't have to be adversaries. But if you keep coming at me like this, he was like, I'm going to stop being a gentleman. I loved it because they pretty much put each other on notice. Like, listen, you keep doing this or you do this, we going to have problems. And my thing is, well, shit, y'all already got problems. Didn't y'all just recently beat each other up in the damn bar? Him and Scott and Victor and his goons. So I'm like, y'all been had problems. So it's all over but the show at this point. Y'all might as well take y'all jackets off and get it on right here, right now. And knock each other the hell out at this point. But I love when they go at it. I really do. I enjoy my Victor and Sonny scenes because them shits be hilarious to me. They don't be playing with each other. It was like, listen, I will take your ass out. So anyway, moving on from that. Jordan at the PCPD and whatnot, getting Spencer ready for his little transfer to Pentonville. And she basically tell Rory to process Spencer out and stuff, make sure, process his transfer and stuff like that. And she told him, be professional because she know about the situation between him and Spencer. So she was like, listen, be professional and whatnot. And Rory's going to be anything but, he going to be professional. So basically he told Spencer that he still got a buddy at the prison that can help Spencer get a job in the library. And Spencer was like, nah, I'm good, thanks, but no thanks. Then they started talking about Trina and stuff like that because Spencer, it's obvious he's still in love with that girl. He could try to downplay it all he want to, like, oh, I'm not a threat to whatever relationship y'all have. And my thing was, Rory not worried about it. Rory was like, listen, I ain't got no worries about you being a threat. But Rory knows how to read the room. As much as he likes Trina, he's not blind. He knows that she's still kind of hung up on Spencer. He knows that. And he knows that they have unfinished business. And I think Rory's at the point now where he just rather they talk and either figure out what that is or close that business for good. You know what I mean? And I agree. I definitely agree. They need to talk because Rory feels like, you know what? I just don't want, you basically your presence haunting us even from prison. I don't want that dampening, what we got going on out here. So I definitely agree with Rory on that. I feel like a conversation between Spencer and Trina definitely needs to happen. I think it needs to be an in-depth conversation and they need to put all their cards on the table about what's going on between them and put that shit to bed. Either y'all gonna be together or y'all gonna be cordial and friends, but y'all need to figure that out swiftly. So anyway, Nicholas comes up in there thinking he running something as usual. And Jordan was like, well, I still need to talk to you about Ava and what happened tonight at the party. And he was like, okay, we could talk about that shit later after I talk to my son. See, that's what pisses me off with Jordan. Because I'm like, listen, you are the police commissioner. Spencer is of age. He's a grown man. Nicholas doesn't have the right to see him. My thing is, you don't have to let him see him. You could deny him. It ain't like Spencer's a minor. He's an adult now. So you can deny Nicholas access. So my thing is, deny him access until he talk to you. You don't let him come into your department thinking he running shit. Absolutely not. Talking about, oh, we'll talk about that after I see my son. No, bitch, we gonna talk about it right here and right now. This is my home. This is my department. I run shit here, not you. You gonna talk when I tell you you talk. If not, if you don't want to talk right now, you can turn your little ass around and leave. And you don't have to see Spencer. I would have put it to him just like that. Like, who the hell he think he is? You could throw that little Prince title around all you want, but that don't work up in here. Not in my domain, it don't. And she basically told him, she was like, and when we do talk, make sure you have your lawyer present. Yo, Jordan need to get a grip on that department. I'm just saying, you need to stop letting people come up in there running shit. And of course, when Spencer saw Nicholas, Spencer did not want to see him. Spencer was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. Get the hell out. And, you know, Nicholas, oh, I'm not going nowhere. I want to see you. Spencer said, listen, if you don't get your ass up out of here, he was like, I'll go over there and tell Jordan what you and Ava was arguing about. Like, basically threatening to throw him under the bus. And, of course, Victor pops up talking about, no, you will not do that. We need this family to be strong. You're not going to turn against Nicholas. Oh, Victor, go on somewhere and go spit. I'm so sick of Victor. Because Victor talking about, oh, I know things are sticky right now, but it's nothing he can't fix if they pull themselves together. I'm like, sir, it's a little too late for that. But I feel bad for Trina, though, because by the time she got to the station, it was too late. Spencer was already, you know, being transported and stuff to Pentonville. She was too late to get there. And Spencer looked all alone in his little cell in his little prison orange. I said, oh, well. It is what it is at this point. See, Victor, I think the wheels are turning in his mind at this point too, because I feel like when he was talking to Nicholas, and he pretty much warned Nicholas that Sonny's running around asking questions about Ava, and you know how Victor feels about people being nosy and all up in their business. Victor tends to try to eliminate people like that. You know, when they come around snooping, asking all types of questions, Victor don't like shit like that. Cause you know how he do when people start getting a little too nosy for his liking. Oh, he try to eliminate your ass. You get a little too nosy, he be like, he make a phone call. Listen, we need to get rid of them right now. So Sonny might want to tread a little lightly here. I'm just saying, cause that's the last thing that Nicholas wants, and that's the last thing Victor wants, is for Sonny to be asking questions about Ava and Esme. And that's what Sonny's doing right now. So, you know, Victor not going to stand for it too much longer if it continues. So Sonny went to go see Ava and stuff. And, you know, she was thanking him for the security detail. He wanted to know from her who do she think attacked her? She was like, listen, I don't know. And he felt like she not telling him something. So, you know, Sonny going to dig his heels into this. My thing is, I understand Sonny's being, I'm surprised that Sonny's defending Ava the way that he is, you know, especially to the Cassadines. And I get that a lot of that has to do with Avery. That's the only reason he's doing it. But he better than me, because after everything Ava done did, especially the Morgan and stuff, I would not spit on that woman if she was on fire. And I love me some Ava, but let's be real. If I was Sonny, I would be mad at her for life. And after what she did to Connie, oh, she'd be an enemy of mine for life. Even though we share a child together, it would still be a problem, even though we share a kid together. It's like, I feel like Sonny went above and beyond even hiring her a security detail. You know what I mean? That was nice of him. It was nice, but it's still more than I would have done. Like, I'm just saying, I would have came in there and checked on you for the sake of our child. And yeah, I probably would have gave you some security or whatever, because at the end of the day, you are my child's mother and somebody attacked you, and that does affect my child. But that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to sit here asking a bunch of people, oh, did you do this? You know, I'm not going to investigate this. That's between you and the PCPD. That's as far as I go. My job is to protect you because you're my child's mother, and I'm going to protect my child. Like, I'm going to put security on her too, just in case whoever attacked you might, you know, try and harm her in some way, because I don't know what all this is about. That's as far as I would go in terms of helping Ava. I wouldn't sit here and try to investigate like Sonny doing. I'm like, yeah, you doing a little bit much, but it's more than I would be doing. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Have a great day, have a great weekend. I'll see you all later. Peace.